Daytona International Speedway calming down in the wake of a very big weekend. Winston Cup cars qualified, then clashed. ARCA cars, a few of them crashed. Winners celebrating, losers cogitating on NASCAR Today. Well, for all of the occupants of the ARCA garage, Daytona Speed Week 97 is over. For the Winston Cup guys, things are just starting to get interesting. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Despain. Welcome to the first NASCAR Today of 1997. You know us as the pre-race show. 32 race weekends. We're here a half hour before the green flag to bring you the thoughts of all the drivers before they go to war. This weekend is different. After all that testing and all that talk, we finally got some cars out on the racetrack. We had an unbelievable qualifying session, kind of a processional Busch clash. We're going to talk about what we've learned from those things today and how they might apply to NASCAR Today for the rest of the year. Let's meet the 97 team. We'll kick it off with our new guy. His name is Ray Dunlap.
Dave, the new guys in the NASCAR Winston Cup garage are going to be concerned in 1997 intensely with just qualifying. 48 drivers have announced they plan on running every race, and there's not that many starting positions. Each week here on NASCAR Today, we'll bring you the story of who made the show, who had to go, and later on, I'll tell you who's on the front row.
Hey, Ray, welcome to the team, and let me show you the office. Not just our office, but this is everybody's office. This is where the action truly begins. Every week, and for the season, the action begins here in the garage area at Daytona. 1997, most competitive, most exciting, and the richest season in NASCAR history. We're going to the bright lights of Los Angeles and a track bigger than life. Where else? Dallas, Fort Worth. And of course, we're not only going to measure winners out on the racetrack, but in the marketplace as well. The economics of racing, very important in 1997. Now, here's Betty Parsons.
But the whole deal is who wins the races. We'll be there for 32 of them. Who wins, who loses, who's the most consistent, because after all, consistency pays off. At the end of the year, the Winston Cup champion, that's the guy they're all going to be talking about. And if today's any indication, it's going to be a great season.
Easy for you to say, Parsons. You've only been on the air about 20 hours so far this week. Behind me, the ARCA winner. We're going to hear from him a little later. We're also going to hear from the second rookie pole sitter, easy for me to say, in Daytona 500 history. Everybody's talking about Mike Skinner, but about to get run over by the winning car. About 4 hours ago, they threw the green on the clash, and I want to tell you, it was interesting, and we're going to start with the highlights. To figure out the Busch clash, watch this guy. Earnhardt's won it 6 times in 10 years. He knew what he had to do today. Everybody else knew, too. Watch outside pole sitter Mark Martin jump in line behind pole sitter Terry Labonte before the green even flew. Labonte, Martin, Wallace, Jarrett. Remember the order. It will not change. Last November in Japan, Wallace chastised as a stroker for going to the back in the first leg of the Suzuka 100. Anybody want to call Earnhardt a stroker to his face? He's going to the back. The action was all in mid-pack. Ernie Irvin got way down on the flat stuff, pondering a 3-wide pass. And, of course, anything goes on the last lap of the first leg. Martin will touch Labonte. But even with Wallace as a drafting partner, the Fords could not get around the Winston Cup champion Chevrolet. First leg order, Labonte, Martin, Wallace, Jarrett, and they go to the back for the second leg. Jeff Gordon, meanwhile, lining up third for the restart. JRH is Rick Hendrick, the owner, at home battling leukemia. His man right behind Bobby Labonte and Earnhardt. Second leg restart, critical for Earnhardt. He cannot get around Bobby Labonte. That's the kiss of death for his hopes of a 7th win. But a lap later, Wallace has passed most of the field, and he pushes Gordon to the front. That, ladies and gentlemen, is that. They line up behind the new colors of the 24, but they could not pass him. Gordon will complete a 2-leg Busch clash sweep for Hendrick.
The last time I talked to Rick, we asked him, what can we do for you? And he said, just put a smile on my face, go down there and win some races in Daytona. And, we're missing you, Rick. Wish you were here. But hopefully we put a smile on your face today, and it was a lot of fun doing it. And he's a big, big supporter of ours, and we sure are supporting you right now.
All right, Jeff wins for the second time in 4 years. This after he and Labonte qualified 22nd and 24th on Saturday. Burton, who had qualified 42nd Saturday, ran 4th Sunday in the Pontiac. Take a look at the rest of the results. Prepare yourself for a lot of complaining about the difficulty in passing at the restrictor plate racetracks. Yes, you've heard that all before. You've heard it for years. You will hear it a whole lot more in 1997. There's always one guy who succeeds in passing a lot of people. It was Rusty Wallace. We'll hear from him when we come back. Yeah, Hillenberg is through Tech, the ARCA race winner. He's coming up a little later. I want to remind you that the ESPYs will be on ESPN tomorrow night. Jeff Foxworthy is the host at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Terry Labonte is the most important person who will be there, in my humble opinion. We'll take a break and come right back. There's the Bud 1 airship, 1,000 feet over Daytona International Speedway, bringing us great pictures throughout our ESPN coverage of the festivities here. Tell Hillenberg not to get all excited yet. I said the car was through Tech. The car is through the template phase of Tech. We'll hear from Andy a little later. Right now, I want to hear from the rest of the guys Gordon beat in the Busch Clash. I want to start with Wallace, who came from last to second in the last leg. How'd you do that?
Started reeling in the front, and by the time we got off a turn, got into turn 3 there, it was pretty wild going into turn 3. I got hit in the rear end by Ernie, knocked me sideways a little bit in turn 3, and I got the car all straightened back out, and then was able to go. But Ernie was just trying to help me. He was trying to jam me in front of Dale right there. But I got tapped a little bit, and that was a little hair raiser for a minute.
You know, we started on the pole and led the whole thing, and unfortunately, that meant we had to start at the back of the second one, and I got cut off there on the first lap and kind of lost momentum, and they couldn't pass nobody.
I'm thrilled to death with the way the car performed in the second segment. We passed a lot of good cars that, you know, I didn't think we could pass. So if it had been 500 miles or 125 miles, we would have had something, you know, to work with there.
If I would have had enough car to push Dale, I think I could have helped him, but that last 2 laps, the cars behind me had been dicing, and they fell back, and I really needed somebody to push me, so I couldn't help him.
Some of those guys alluded to it. Everybody will talk about it all week. You cannot pass without help.
You got to have help, and you know, right there at the end, we had a pretty good car, it felt like, and a couple cars got to run on us, and we got hung out, and you're done. I mean, you can just watch your tach and RPM fall, and there's nothing you can do about it but sit there and ride it out. And that's the bad part about this deal. You know, we got our cars driving so good and they're so equal, you can't really do a lot, and it's going to make Sunday's going to be very interesting.
Hell, if you can pull out and pass, it'd be all right. You can pull out, you see guys pull out and pass, but if you can't get to them to pull out and pass, well, hell, well, you know, no fun. IndyCar racing, nose to tail, we all sit in line.
Was he unhappy, do you think? Smile on his face, but yeah, he was unhappy. I'm down here. Benny Parsons is up there somewhere. We've heard from the winner. We've heard from the guys who didn't win. Now I want to hear from BP. I want to know what Benny says. What did we see today, Parsons? What can we learn from it? And I wonder how much relevance it has to what we'll see next Sunday.
Dave, the guys are exactly right. Very little passing. You know, as a matter of fact, they just couldn't close up. They could not get up and bump draft what, you know, Dale Jarrett got in front of Dale Earnhardt last year when they bump drafted by. We didn't see that today. The car just could not close up. We did see some passing. Mark Martin passed some cars, but really and truly, very, very little passing.
Let's talk about relevance to next Sunday. In history, only 3 drivers have won the Clash and gone on to win the 500. And there they are. And guess what? Bill Weber has one of them. Bill Elliott. Go, guys.
How about that? Winning the Clash and the 500 in the same year, that must have been a lot of fun.
You know, ironically, that was 10 years ago, and it was. We sat on the pole that year, ran 210. I think they said we ran like 197 average in the Clash, and that was when you could really let it all hang out and have a good time. You know, I was a little disappointed in today's Busch Clash. You know, Earnhardt didn't live up to his normal stuff, and you know, it seemed like the Ford guys were just a little bit down, even though the Chevrolet guys said they were down going into this deal.
I'll tell you, I saw you on pit road before the truck race in Orlando. You were smiling. You looked like you're in good shape. You can't wait to get going.
Well, I was a little disappointed when we got down here. You know, just from the simple standpoint, we ran pretty well at Talladega, and I thought we would be better than what we were down here. We still didn't end up bad. We were 16th quickest overall yesterday, and I was very pleased with that. We ran better than we ran a year ago, and anytime we go to these places, we can improve on a year ago. Even though we did end up 16th, I felt like we're gaining on the whole situation. You know, McDonald's is back. They're a great sponsor. They've been excellent to me at this point in time. And, you know, right now we're just trying to press ahead. Everybody's doing an excellent job back in the shop. You know, we've got a good team put together right here, a lot of good guys. And I feel good about the season coming up.
Okay, and he's got a week to work on that car and the car he owns with Ron Barfield. Finished second in the ARCA race on Sunday.
Hey, he's talking a long time there. We better hurry up and get this commercial in. The ARCA pay window is behind me. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Chevys that won the pole after the Fords dominated everything down here. In the meantime, I want to remind you very quickly that the NHL is coming up tonight on ESPN. I thought the Panthers were a football team. I don't follow this stuff. It's at 8 o'clock. You tune in. We'll be back with more stock car stuff in just a moment. We're back. We're in the ARCA garage. Inspection of Andy Hillenburg's winning car continuing, and so far they haven't found anything untoward, so to speak. Let's talk about Winston Cup qualifying. The second rookie in history will start from the pole. Chevrolet has upset what was supposed to be a Ford-powered apple cart. Ray Dunlap has the story.
For the second time in 4 years, a rookie driver has won the Busch pole position for next Sunday's Daytona 500. In 1994, Loy Allen came out of nowhere to surprise the field. In contrast, Mike Skinner is the teammate of the biggest name in racing.
There's only one thing that could be better than sitting on the pole in this race, and that's winning it. And I don't really feel I have the drafting experience to beat a Dale Earnhardt and some of these guys in this race, but we're going to get an opportunity to get some drafting experience.
Okay, one pole doesn't make you the next intimidator, and experience is an issue. But Skinner has certainly validated car owner Richard Childress's decision to put him in his Craftsman truck back in 1995.
We knew both cars really ran good, and that car had just been running just a little better here, and, you know, they got equal engines. We try to make everything as equal as we can, and, you know, that's all you can do.
Oh, by the way, teammate Earnhardt on the front row the last 3 years qualified 10th.
Everybody worked hard on Daytona and qualifying and Daytona race setups down here when we was down testing, so we get one out of the two up there, it'll be all right.
So, was Skinner's pole the biggest shock of qualifying? It very well may have been, but Steve Grissom posting a time to put him on the outside of row 1 was a close second. Fired halfway through last season, Grissom moved in the offseason to the Kodiak Chevrolet, which was vacated by Ricky Craven.
The main thing is that we got a good time in, and, you know, with that, we're racing Sunday now, so, you know, with that, we can come in Monday morning, get working on our race setup, get the car driving good in the draft and all, and then look forward to Thursday in the 125s, and then from there, you know, look forward to Sunday's race.
The all-Chevy front row of Skinner and Grissom was a surprise to everyone, including Ford drivers and pole favorites Dale Jarrett and Rusty Wallace.
It's just disappointing because we really thought we could run quicker than a 40. We thought we'd get in the 30s, but just didn't happen. I don't know what it was. Sometimes waiting to dead last is not an advantage because everything just gets colder and colder in the car.
I said before we started, if we could run what we ran in practice, that would be pretty good, and that's about where we're at. That's all we got. I hate those Chevrolets don't have a chance. That's a real shame.
Well, see, Todd Parrott, Jarrett's crew chief, he says those Chevys were sandbagging the whole time. Despain says until Winston Cup scoring times every car, every lap in practice, we're never going to know who's really the fastest until we get to qualifying. But I want to know what Benny says. Benny, give me your reaction to this qualifying deal.
Dave, I could not believe all the posturing that was going on Friday afternoon. The cars got on the racetrack and the Fords were fastest. The Chevrolet guys saying, hey, those guys got a terrific advantage. What happens on Saturday? 2 Chevrolets on the front row. Could not believe everything was going on. And I can't believe the amount of money that these teams are spending just to qualify. I talked to some of the owners and said, how much money did it cost you for these 2 laps? I got some prices, $500,000. It paid off for Mike Skinner. It paid off for Steve Grissom. But what about those other 30 guys that did qualify? They spent $500,000 and really and truly got nothing for it. So Mike Skinner on the pole, a rookie. Who in the world thought that would happen? And Dave Despain had a chance to sit down and say, Skinner, is it for real?
Hey, I'll tell you what, Benny Parsons, if I was a race driver, I'd have this front page framed and on the wall in a big hurry. Mike Skinner said yesterday it was unbelievable, but now it's sunk in, I guess. You're on the pole. Were you really surprised? You didn't think this was a possibility?
Well, my heart started beating again right after they got through the tech room.
Let me ask you about Todd Parrott's quote. He said, those Chevys have been sandbagging down here all month. Were you sandbagging?
How many big races did they win last year? I really feel sorry for Todd, but no, we wasn't sandbagging a bit. We was giving everything we had. We had a little bit left in the engine and the qualifying oils and so on and so forth, but you know, I think we just got a good lap, got the right wind, got the right weather, worked out for us.
How nerve-wracking was it? I mean, you set the time pretty early, then everybody took a shot. I mean, you're a rookie, right? That must have made you pretty nervous.
Steve Grissom and I watched the tail end of qualifying together up in the Goodyear building, and we both had a pounding headache by then. They'd run a few cars and it'd rain, and they'd run a couple more cars, and they had an accident, and it was pretty dramatic. It was the longest couple hours I believe I can remember.
How's Earnhardt going to react if you keep out qualifying him all year? You make a habit out of this, you may make the other guy unhappy. What do you think?
Yeah, but he always beats me in the race. I'll trade with him. I'll have him out qualify me and let me outrun him in the race.
Congratulations, man. It was a terrific effort. We're all happy for you.
Thanks.
That's the pole sitter, Mike Skinner. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with more on NASCAR Today. We're back for NASCAR Today. We take a look at the ARCA results from today. Andy Hillenburg's Chevy versus Ron Barfield's Ford on the front row, and lo and behold, that's the way they finished. Take a look at the rest of the top 10 here. A couple of major players in that one crashed out, including Tim Steele, but the winner, Andy Hillenburg, is standing by up topside with our Ray Dunlap.
Well, thanks, Dave. You know, we're talking about the NASCAR Winston Cup stars every week here on NASCAR Today, and this guy's probably on his way over there, Andy. The way to get experience and to move up into the divisions, you've decided to try ARCA. You've come here now and won 2 of them at Daytona. Did you ever believe it'd be possible?
Honestly, no. You know, we won that first race, Ray, and that was really a fairy tale month for us. Actually, a whole season, because we went on and won the championship and really wasn't even counting on running anything past Daytona. And this year, I came in with a little bit different role. And I learned a lot being one of the favorites. I've never been in a race where we were the favorite, and that added a whole new dimension of pressure. But overall, it was a great week for us.
But the first 10 laps, you didn't think you had it in you, did you? The car was pretty tough there.
Well, I knew we would be okay. It was really my fault. I've never been on the front row before, and they had gentlemen start your engines, and I started them up, and the official looks over at me, and I give him the big thumbs up. Let's go. And boy, I took the green flag with only like 120 degrees water temperature, and it wasn't making any horsepower. It took me 30 laps in the race to get the engine up to about 175 where it'd even be close. So it was kind of my fault there in the beginning of the race, but I guess you learn something every day, and we bounced back okay.
Well, this guy's putting on a good show for all the guys in the Winston Cup garage that are watching, and Bill Weber's with a guy who have a great angle when he starts next Sunday's Daytona 500.
Well, talk about starting on the front row. I got a chance to finally sit down and talk to a guy who makes his living sitting down. Hey, you knew you were good yesterday, Steve Grissom, but did you know you were that good?
Well, I tell you, it was kind of one of those deals. It's hard to tell when you come to a restrictor plate track. You're out there practicing, other cars on the racetrack, you're getting help. Or if you don't get help, you're not sure if other cars are getting some drafting help. And, we felt like Larry Hedrick and I sat down and talked after practice yesterday. And he said, well, what do you think we can run? I said, I honestly feel we can run a 47.6. And he said, well, I think we can run a 47.5. And, sure enough, we were able to go out and back up what we thought we could run. Didn't have any idea whether it would be good enough for the front row, the pole, or fifth, or what, but we felt like we could get in a good time.
You won the Busch race here a year ago, but that was a long year ago, wasn't it?
Man, I tell you, it sure was. And, I can't say how excited I am to be involved with Kodiak, Larry Hedricks, and this team. I tell you, we got a good group of guys, and, I'm proud for them. This just shows the effort that they put forth, the amount of time. I mean, these guys have really been hammering. This is the first time that Randy and Gail and the guys in the engine shop have built restrictor plate engines. So, you kind of back up to our first test down here in Daytona back in January, and from the first lap on the racetrack to where we qualified, these guys really made some gains. But it goes back to Wednesday. I come up to the shop, got there Wednesday afternoon, and they just took this motor off the dyno about noon Wednesday and put it in the truck, closed the door, and headed to Daytona with it. So.
Well, you're fast and you're confident. Good luck in the 500.
Thanks, appreciate it. We're looking forward to it.
Dave Despain.
I tell you, a year ago, I thought that kid was a rising star. By midseason, he was fired. Now he's back. He's a rising star again. Front row for the 500. That, boys and girls, is called perseverance. Let's get in a quick break here. Remind you that ESPN News is up and running. They're your 24-hour sports authority, and you want to check them out along with the Classic and the News. Got everything you need to know about the world of sports. We'll be right back to wrap it up.
NASCAR Today, brought to you by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction.
We're back. We got such great views of Daytona International Speedway from the Bud 1 airship high overhead, and you'll be seeing those throughout our run-up to the 500. We're going to take you all the way up virtually to green flag time. I want to hear from Kenny Schrader real quick, figure out just exactly what his connection is to that ARCA car that won today, if any. Anyway, let's get the story from Bill Weber.
Okay, and I'm with Ken Schrader. Let's talk about ARCA first. Now, do you own the 52 car? Do you not? You probably want back after what Bill Baird did today. What a job.
Bill Baird did a real good job. You know, he'd run Michigan one time in an ASA race, and his first time down here with a heavy car on a bigger track. And, man, I tell you what, you couldn't ask for no better. One piece, fourth place, had a shot, and wound up good.
Okay, how about the Skull Bandit?
Skull Bandit's going to re-qualify tomorrow. We dropped a little bit of speed from when we qualified, and we think we know why, and we just don't have a time that's comfortable to fall back on in case you'd have trouble in the 125s. And I haven't been 29th in points for a while. I mean, we were pretty mad when we were 12th last year, so we got to get that speed up there so we don't have to worry about it.
You're not going to tell me what went wrong, are you?
Yeah, that NASCAR inspection room.
Oh, yeah. The room of doom, Dave.
The doom room.
All right, the ARCA garage is over there. And there's the Winston Cup garage. That is the focus from now on. And I guarantee you this, what happens the rest of the week is going to be very different from the last 48 hours. Pole and Clash weekend is about speed and little else. A long run is 10 laps. Race day, 500 miles, another issue altogether. You've heard the fuss about springs and shocks. Doesn't do diddly for you next week. Nobody takes a qualifying setup to the Daytona 500. When the garage opens tomorrow morning, every team will be working on one thing, race setup. Yeah, Mike Skinner has shocked the racing world with a pole he'll sit on for a week. Outside pole sitter Steve Grissom thrilled to have locked in a starting spot. They'll look ahead to next Sunday. Clash winner Jeff Gordon has a big check, but he and everybody else outside row one face a hard Daytona 500 reality. To win it, you gotta be in it. For them, the big day is Thursday, not Sunday. The next 30 of those precious starting spots depend on the Gatorade Twin 125 qualifying races, in which a great many things can go wrong. Ultimately, through time trials, Twin 125s, and provisionals, 42 drivers and teams will make the cut. That's Daytona, the only race of the year that happens this way. No other race means as much as this one. That's our beat for the week to come. I think we have the best bunch in the business to cover it. Here's the schedule starting tomorrow. I'd do this. Get up early in the morning for the rest of Speed Week. Turn on the Deuce. Just leave it there until Jenkins or Punch or somebody tells you to go over to ESPN Classic. Do that. You won't miss a thing. And with that, hey, we're back on the air. NASCAR Today 97. I'm excited. I love it. We're going to see you next Sunday morning before the 500. Thank you, Parsons. Thank you, Dunlap. And thank you, Weber. A surprising weekend here. Don't forget, the big prize gets...
International Speedway for Busch pole qualifying for the Busch Grand National Series. 55-year-old Dick Trickle about to go out and qualify. It has been a very difficult 48 hours for the legendary short track campaigner and former NASCAR Rookie of the Year. Trickle learned late Sunday night that his nephew, Chris Trickle, an up-and-coming young driver in the Southwest Tour of NASCAR and the short tracks of the West. We followed Chris's progress and career through winter heat out in Tucson. He was shot in a drive-by shooting out in Las Vegas about 10:30 Sunday night and is in critical condition in a hospital out there. And we are following that story very closely. Dick Trickle passed along to us a moment ago that his prayers and thoughts are with the family out there at the hospital, but obviously he has a job here to do, and he is trying to focus completely on that job. We told Dick ourselves that our prayers and thoughts go along to Chris and his family as he fights the biggest battle of all, the fight for his life. Dick Trickle getting ready to go out and qualify here in just a moment. Bob?
There's Johnny Chapman that just qualified a moment ago. Is currently in the 12th spot. 48.938, 183.906 miles per hour. And, you know, that is so sad about Chris. Such a talented young man as far as a race car driver is concerned, and a nice young man.
We spent 6 out of 8 weekends with him this past winter, and it's difficult to believe that such a great race driver and such a fine young man could become the victim of such a terrible incident. And, well, needless to say, our prayers are going to be with Chris Trickle in the next few days, and we sure hope he pulls out of the shooting that he experienced.
Also Chuck, his dad and his mom. Tough deal.
Greg Sachs is 4th quick, Benny, 186, 548.
Yes, good run for him. That's the Mike Laughlin car.
Bill Weber, you've got the provisional pole sitter, don't you?
I sure do. Dale Fishline, smiling provisional pole. Tell me about your lap.
Well, so far, it's pretty good. Was a little concerned, you know, we can run fast in practice, but that's one thing. But yeah, you got to repeat it when it counts, and we were able to do that. So I was real pleased to getting that Chevrolet going like we did.
Okay, so is that going to stand up? You're going to make that stand up?
Well, I don't think it'll hold up for the pole, but it'll put us solid in the field, and maybe we'll have a good showing for Patriot Seed and Prestige Builders this weekend and see if we can't get something developed for later races.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Dale Fishline. On the racetrack right now is Shane Hall in the Lux number 85 Chevy.
Shane out of around Greenville, South Carolina. Picked up the Lux sponsorship in 1997.
This will be full season commitment for Shane Hall. He was participating in 14 Busch Grand National races last year and finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year point standings. Best finish of his career was at Milwaukee in 1996. He finished in 14th. 185.246 on lap number 1, 11th quickest of the day so far.
17 cars have qualified so far here at the Daytona International Speedway for the NASCAR Busch Grand National Gargoyles 300 on Saturday afternoon. Dale Fishline, we just talked to him. There's the time to beat. He's on the pole right now. 187.911 miles per hour. Here comes Shane. I would not think he can pick up that much speed from one lap to the next. He probably should pick up a mile and a half an hour or so. Yes, he did. 48.318 seconds. Average speed 186.266 miles per hour. Puts Shane Hall currently in 5th spot.
Good run for Shane Hall. And on the racetrack right now, I believe, is Dale Jarrett. It sure is. The White Rain machine. Dale Jarrett in the cockpit.
And Dale Jarrett, in practice this morning, was talking about his car just not running the way that he wanted it to. Well, I guess he was running okay. He was 17th fastest, but as he said, it was in the draft. Now he's got to get the car to run by itself to qualify.
He ran 17 series races last year and plans about that many in 1997. Had 1 pole position and 5 top 5s and 10 top 10s. Dale Jarrett. First lap complete for Dale. And it is a 48.096, 187.216. That's 3rd quick on his first lap.
A great qualifying lap for Dale Jarrett.
Quickly, a comment from Jerry Punch.
Guys, we told you that cars, when they qualify, have to have hot oil and cool water. Take a look at what Tim Bender's crew has done. They've opened the cowl flaps here at the back of the hood, right beside the cowl on both sides. Why? Because they want any hot air that's under the hood that heats up the radiator and the water to be able to come out prior to qualifying. When they leave pit road, they'll flip those down and head out to qualify.
Okay.
Here comes Jarrett. There's the time to beat, 187.911. Can he do it? He's got a chance.
He's on the pole. 47.856, 188.064, and there is your new provisional pole sitter. So we have only qualified 18 BP, and we got a long way to go.
As a matter of fact, 52 cars drew for qualifying today. So we're almost a third of the way, a little bit more than a third of the way through.
There's the Duraloop Chevrolet, driven by Dick Trickle, who was in 23 Busch Grand National races last year. And as Jerry told you, he's got a lot on his mind thinking about his nephew.
He was the 14th fastest car this morning in practice.
Bill is with the 5th fastest at the moment, Greg Sachs.
5th fastest right now. Happy with that?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. You know, we ran a little bit quicker this morning, but the Hunter Specialty Chevrolet is doing a great job. You know, Mike Laughlin and all the guys. There's a real big headwind on the backstretch right now, so I think you're going to find all your times are a little bit slower than the guys ran in the morning. I know that's not going to hold up at 5th. It'll get us in the show solid. We'll get ready to race on Saturday.
Just a quick comment on how the Cup cars drafted this morning. It looked better than the Clash, Greg.
Well, I'll tell you, I was able to pull up real good. My car had real good speed. The Hardys for it, I was real happy with it. We were a little bit loose, but as long as we've got the speed, we can deal with the looseness.
Okay, by the way, you're 6th right now.
Yeah, I knew that.
He's 6th because Dick Trickle has moved up to 4th. His first lap, 48, 122, 187, 025.
Duralube Chevy hanging right on the white line in turns 3 and 4. Trickle looks like a pretty good lap. Here he comes with a checkered flag, and if he picks up as much as Dale Jarrett or a little bit more, he might have a chance. He was about 500 slower than Jarrett on the first lap. Let's see. Yes, he did. 47.851 average speed, 188.084 miles per hour, and he beat Dale Jarrett by 5 1/1000ths of a second.
How about that? Yep, 856 to 851. Wow.
You can't blink anywhere near that fast.
Well, Joe Nemechek was the fastest in this morning's practice, BP, at 189.781, and let's see if he can move on to the pole.
Yes, I mean, he ran 47.40 this morning. 47.40, folks, which is about 0.4 of a second. Although, once again, there were other cars on the racetrack this morning. That definitely helps.
Nemechek, a former champion of the Busch Grand National Division, comes down to get the green flag and begin his 2 laps, and Bill is with Dale Jarrett.
I was busy down here. What did you tell Jerry about the car?
They must have worked on it while I was gone somewhere. I was practicing the Winston Cup car, and they went to work on it. So, yeah, it really surprising. But, you know, we did the things that we do for qualifying, and we hadn't taped off or anything like that. So I really didn't know what it might do taping it off, and was surprised that it would pick up that much. But Robert and Doug Yates and John Callis, the guys, did a great job with the engine. And these guys have worked awful hard because we weren't that good when we got here.
You need to get here sooner because now you're already back to 3rd.
Oh, well, I'm just happy with what we ran.
Okay, Dale.
Okay, thanks.
Joe Nemechek, boy, the pole is not the place to be here in the last few drivers.
Every time they talk to Bill Weber, they get knocked off the pole. He's talking about my jinx. Here is the new provisional pole setter, Joe Nemechek. He ran 188.422 the first lap. And if he picks it up as much as these other cars have, 47, he did not, 47.709, just about a half of a tenth, 500ths of a second, 188.644 miles per hour. That is now the time to beat for the pole for Saturday's Gargoyles 300.
One of the fastest car in all of the practices has been Todd Bodine, and he's coming up for his qualifying attempt in just a moment. Tim Bender has just completed his qualifying run, and he did very well. 4th fastest on the afternoon. A 47.874 was his second and best lap. Speed 187.993. Tim Bender.
Here's a rundown how the cars have qualified so far. See Nemechek, the time to beat at 188.644. Then Trickle, Jarrett, Bender, Fishline, the top 5. Wallace, Purvis, Sachs, Hall, and Mark Green, the top 10. Keller, Barfield, Barrett, Amick, and LePage.
And then 16 through 21 will include such drivers as the 98 of
Kenny Irwin, Johnny Chapman, Jamie Obey. Also, the 48 car is back there in 20th spot right now, Dale Shaw.
And there it is. And Dennis Setzer is the slowest so far, 174.9. Let's see what Todd Bodine does as he returns to the Team 34 car owner Frank Cece, where he started his Busch Grand National career back in 1991.
First lap was, he's going to be a little bit disappointed with that one. 48.226, 186.621 miles per hour. And that is currently in 7th spot. He's driving for Team 34, driving car number 36.
That's right.
That is the name of the company that owns this car.
He's won 9 Busch Grand National races, including one last year at South Boston, Virginia.
Strange that he'd be driving a Pontiac and his teammate McLaughlin is driving a Chevrolet, but I haven't asked why that is, but I will have to do that.
The Stanley Pontiac completes the run. And he stayed at 7th fastest, 48.142, 186.947. Bill Weber.
With Dick Trickle, and you said that was your fastest lap so far in the Busch car.
Yeah, we just broke into the 47, like a 47.88, and we just qualified at 47.85, which is, we're real happy with it. Wind picked up a little bit. We haven't lost a tenth or two there, but we did run the quickest lap. I got to thank the dirt little people because, without that major sponsor, you can't go too far in this game. And, Dennis Shoemaker, the owner, Brian, all the staff, the crew chief, they're doing a super job. I think we're going to have some fun this year. And, with a little luck, we'll be in top 5 here so we can see the front. And, my hearts are out in Las Vegas with my brother and sister-in-law, Barb, Chuck and Barb out there. And, for those who don't know it, my nephew out there that was kind of following my footsteps, doing a little racing, doing pretty well. There was a drive-by shooting and real serious. There's probably some people know more than I do about it at this point, but Chuck and Barb aren't taking calls. But, my family told me to race down here. If I could help by going out there, I'd be out there, but I can't help them anyway other than condole them some. But I'm real happy because the old Heilig-Meyer cars run pretty good over there on the Winds Cup side, too. So I got 2 good race cars here.
And our thoughts and prayers, all of us, Dick, are with you and with Chris and his family.
Well, I'd like to say hi to Chuck, my brother, and my sister-in-law, Barb, if they're out there. See ya.
All right, Dick, let's see what Doug Reed is doing. Here's a young driver from Hueytown, Alabama in the Med Partners Chevrolet. First lap, 8th, quick, pretty good.
Pretty good, 186.587. Doug Reed been running some ARCA races the past couple of years, getting some experience, trying to get ready to do this NASCAR Busch Grand National Series. It's a pretty tough division. Obviously the NASCAR Winston Cup is probably the toughest division in the world, but I guess this is probably number 2. Man, these guys are so close, and there's 52 cars here, just 40 spots. Second lap, 187.188 miles per hour. Currently is 7th.
On the pole right now, Joe Nemechek. Bill's with him.
Hey, it backed up the old practice speed, huh?
Yeah, we backed it up, but we thought we could go a lot faster than that. The wind started blowing pretty hard here this afternoon. I think it's hurting everybody down the backstretch, but hey, we'll take it. We're on top right now. Hopefully it'll stand up. I don't know. There's some pretty heavy hitters there in the back, so we'll just wait and see.
A lot of cars here, a lot of traffic in practice as well.
Yeah, it's really tough. For myself and the Bell South Mobility Chevrolet, we got a couple good laps in, and we ran about a 60 or 70 in practice pretty clean, and we figured we could go a little bit quicker than that, but you never know here at Daytona. Too many things can happen.
Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Tracy Leslie is on his qualifying run. Remember his only win in the Series, BP? I think you and I did that race in Indianapolis back in '93.
Yeah, over 200 there. Yep. He's driving a Lysol car this year for the Hensleys out of Martinsville, Virginia. Pontiac.
7th quick, 48.064, 187.250. Didn't run the whole series last year. Only had 8 starts, as a matter of fact, and had a top 10 finish. Returned to a full schedule in 1997.
Comes off the corner. He picks it up a little bit. The time to beat. There it is, 188.644. He'd have to pick up a quarter of a second, well, 3/10 of a second. But probably a stretch to think he can pick up that much, but he could get himself up there in the top 5 with ease if he can pick up about a quarter of a second.
Ooh, he moved up pretty far there. 47.815, 188.225, second quick.
Yeah, so he did move up, picked up a quarter of a second. Like I said, attaboy, he followed instructions real well, Tracy.
43 cars on the track. This is the Lance Snack Chevrolet, and it's driven by old Rodney Combs from Lost Creek, West Virginia.
And it's owned by David Ridling. The same fellow owns the 88 car that Kevin LePage drives.
Let's talk to Todd Bodine, Bill Weber.
Oh, that's no problem. Well, you told me this morning a lot of your friends were watching yesterday. They saw you smiling. If they're watching today, you're not smiling as much.
Not at all.
Pretty disappointed with that. I don't know what happened to the speed in the car. We had changed a couple things. Maybe that messed us up. We shouldn't have done it probably, but it just didn't go. It just didn't seem like it rolled good, you know, and that's the key here at Daytona is got to have that car rolling free, and it just didn't seem like it was doing it.
The setup is so fine. You make a little adjustment thinking you're going the right way. You can be out to lunch if you went the wrong way.
I think that's what happened. We over-engineered ourselves, outguessed ourselves. You know, we didn't change much, just a couple little things. We thought it was going to work, and it just didn't run.
All right, well, good luck.
Well, you know, the thing is we got the Stanley car in the field, and that was the main concern of the day. We don't have a provisional being a new team, so we're going to qualify, and that's the main thing.
Set Clyde to work.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Rodney Combs, first lap 48.065, 187.246, 8th fastest. And here he comes down to complete the run. This is our 25th qualifier, VP, so now we get this bubble deal going.
Yeah, the bumping process will start.
Right now on the bubble, the 25th fastest is Dennis Setzer. Second lap for Rodney.
He's currently third, 188.214 miles per hour. So put him in third, and as you said, Dennis Setzer on the bubble.
We'll be back for the bumping process in the Busch Grand National Busch Pole qualifying at Daytona. We are qualifying at Daytona as ESPN2 continues its coverage of Speed Weeks 97. The Busch Grand National cars are qualifying right now, but coming up, the NASCAR Goodies Dash Pole qualifying will be next later this afternoon.
There's Mark Day, just completed his qualifying run at 184.441 miles per hour, and that puts him in 23rd spot, 21st spot.
And Dennis Setzer has been bumped. He's the 26th fastest. On the bubble right now would be the 48 car of Dale Shaw as we take a look at the rundown so far of all 26 qualifiers. Okay, on the racetrack right now is the number 24 car of David Hutto. Bill is with Tracy Leslie.
And new colors and a fresh start for you, huh?
Yeah, it sure is. You know, it was kind of tough last year running on my own. You know, we only run 6 or 8 races, but, you know, you look at the past champions, Randy LaJoy and David Green, they both did the same thing, took a year off and run a few races, come back, won the championship. Maybe we can have that kind of luck.
Is that a prediction, Tracy?
No. I'd like to think we could win a few races with the Lysol Pontiac because it's an awful tough team. It's a good race car, the Pontiac, and I'm looking forward to the year.
Your lap today?
It's actually the best lap we've run. We thought we could run a little bit better, you know, because we've always came down here. I have myself, you know, get 4 or 5 laps on the track and then qualify pretty decent, and that's about all we've had so far since we came back here since testing, and we just need a little bit more, but we'll be all right.
All right, good luck in the race.
Thank you.
Jerry's with Michael Waltrip.
All right, a 2-time runner-up here in the Gargoyles 300, Michael Waltrip. What do you expect to run in qualifying, Mikey?
48.091.
48, you got down to the thousandths of a second. You know exactly what you're going to run. 40. Now, where will that put you on the grid?
See, I always talk before I think. Now everybody's going to know how smart I am when I go out and run about a 48.391. But, you know, we hope for a top 10 start today, but some of these guys are running a lot faster than we anticipated. If we could run somewhere in the O's, that's kind of our goal. We think that'll get us a top 15 start.
All right, you got Band-Aid. You know what Micotin is, Mikey? You know what that stuff does?
Yes, it's for jock itch, and it works very good. As you can see, I'm standing comfortably.
And it should put the sun a little lower on your uniform, though, Mike. Yeah. All right, Michael Waltrip getting ready to go out and qualify. Man, I should have known not to ask.
Yep. Well, David Hutto did not go out. He was scheduled to be next, but Doug Hebron went out and qualified 22nd in 183.985, and that bumped out Dale Shaw. So now on the bubble is Jimmy Foster. And the man to try to do it is Mike Dillon.
Mike Dillon in the Detroit gasket car. Mike Dillon is Richard Childress' son-in-law, so talk something about Richard. Hey, Richard, help us out a little bit, and we see already some steam coming out of that car.
Yep.
Not a good sign. Too much tape on the grill. 15th on that first lap, 48.373, 186.054 miles per hour. Once again, when the car overheats, the engine gets hot, they just simply start slowing down.
Boy, it's bailing a lot of water. This kid was the runner-up in the Ray Bestis Rookie of the Year standings to Glenn Allen last year, and he's driving the Ron Parker-owned Detroit Gasket Chevrolet, which has been in the series for a number of years. Here's the completion of lap number 2, and Mike Dillon has qualified. He was 15th fastest on his first lap, and the second lap he moves up to 11th quick at a 48.199, 186.757.
See, it picked up 0.2 of a second, and still some water still coming out of the thing pretty well. It picked up 0.2 of a second. If it hadn't overheated, it might have picked up 0.3. All we're talking about is 1/10 of a second, 0.15 of a second.
Jerry Punch is with Randy LaJoie, the defending champion.
96 Busch Series champion. No champ, you got anything for him?
Well, I'll let you know about 8 cars, but if the wind stops going the opposite direction and turns around and gives us a boost on the backstretch, maybe we do. But you know, this Phoenix Chevrolet's it's a good race car, and you know, we didn't do a lot of tricks to get this thing to qualify on the ground and where it needs to be, but you know, we were 10th here last year and 15th or 20th at Talladega, and we brought the same race car. She races really good, but she just don't qualify. I'm putting my butt in it. I get it as close to the ground as I can, and I'm going to hold it to the floor. But you know, as good as his K-Tex engines are, and as good as these Laughlin race cars are, I mean, you know, if we got 225-pound rear springs and everybody else got 150s, they're going to get a lot lower than we are. So we'll be in the race. And come Saturday, I mean, they pay better on the last lap on Saturday than they do the last lap today.
All right, okay, Randy, thanks a lot. That's the defending series champion as qualifying continues.
Hermie Sadler, 14th fastest on his first lap, 186.536. When we talked to this guy yesterday, he was as pumped up as I have ever seen him. He's not had real good seasons the last couple of years. He only had 1 top 5 finish last year in the 26 starts, but he has 2 victories to his credit. Those came in 93 and 94. Did win a pole last year, but Hermie Sadler looking for much better results in 1997. And his second lap?
He's currently in 9th spot in the DeWalt Chevrolet at 187.367 miles per hour. 187.367. That will bump Jamie Obie out of the field. Jimmy Foster has been bumped, and now Johnny Chapman is the car on the bubble. Time to beat 48.938 miles per hour.
And the next driver to try to get into the field is last year's Rookie of the Year, Glenn Allen from Cincinnati, Ohio. 2 top 10 finishes in his rookie year last year. Had a 7th place as his best at Nashville last year.
And he looks there. Chevrolet, crew chief by David Ift. David's been around a long, long time. 20 years, I guess. Working on these race cars. Here he comes. Takes the white flag. Does Glenn Allen. In just a moment, we'll find out if he's got a chance for pole position.
Well, he is 24th fastest. He's going to have to find a lot of speed if he is a candidate for the pole. 184.060. That just barely gets him above the cutoff point at 25.
Yep. Puts him in 24th spot. But he's got another lap, and he can pick up somewhat. If he picks up 3/10, he'll get down to around 19th or 20th.
Johnny Chapman is bumped out of the top 25 with that lap for Glenn Allen. And the checkered flag falls.
This is the 30th car to qualify.
Didn't move up a whole lot, did he?
No, he sure didn't. Just picked up about 25, about a quarter of a second. 184.991. 184.991. And that will put Glenn Allen in 23rd. Went from 24th to 23rd.
And now it is Doug Hevron that is on the bubble. As there you see the rundown on Glenn Allen's qualifying effort here at Daytona. And the next car to try to do it is Michael Waltrip.
We talked to Michael just a moment ago. Driving the Band-Aid Ford. He and Ronnie Silver put together this team last year with MW Windows, and this year they have Band-Aid as a sponsor.
Michael's prediction. Now, what did he say in 091? Yeah.
48.091. Michael said he would run.
And, you know, he said that would get him into the top 10. It would get him into 11th spot at the moment. Okay, he's 13th quick on the first lap, and that thing is losing water already.
48.216. 48.216. 186.660. So, yeah, I think he's got a chance to run that 091.
If he picks it up 0.2 of a second, he's going to come doggone close.
He'll run an 01, so...
Michael Waltrip, 13 starts in the Busch Grand National Series in 1996. 1 pole position, 3 top 5s, and 3 top 10s. He won his pole at Richmond last September. Here's Michael Waltrip heading for the checkered flag.
I would guess he's going to run a 99, 47.99.
Okay. I think he's going to better his prediction, huh?
Yes. And he will be pleasantly surprised if he does.
Look at this. 48.012, 187.453.
Puts him in 9th spot. He's a little bit faster than he thought he was going to run, so he's got to be happy with that.
But good prediction overall for Michael Waltrip. Currently 9th quick. That bumps out Doug Hevron, and on the bubble right now is the 16 car of Mike Day. Bill Weber?
Well, how was that, Hermie?
Well, it's a rough ride like everybody else is having, but it's not quite as quick as we had hoped to go, but it'd be a good, solid top 20 starting spot, I think, and if we can get our car drafting good, and we'll be in good shape on Saturday, and, looking forward to a race.
Bob Jenkins was talking about how enthusiastic you appear to be this season.
Well, I got to run good this year. I got lots of diapers to buy, so I got to tighten up.
And you shaved today, too. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it didn't work the other way, so I'll try anything.
Jerry Punch.
Yesterday we told you about Jim Bound, who didn't have anything on his uniform, no sponsor, no money, no decals. Jim, did you get any calls last night?
Well, we got a few, but nothing that's going to really make it happen just yet, but we're still trying. Got a couple of bad news, though. It seems like most people are picking up a little bit of speed. We tried taping up the front, and we seem to lose speed, so qualifying might be a bit more of a struggle, but we got a good race car.
All right, good race car, a lot of hope, not a lot of money. He was 5th quickest yesterday in practice this morning. He was still in the top 10. Folks, they are struggling, but he would love to be able to qualify for Saturday's 300 miles.
Well, Kyle Petty's out there right now, and he bumped Mark Day, but he just barely made the cutoff. He is 25th fastest at the moment. This is the NWO Chevy, and it is sponsored by a group of villain wrestlers that broke away from the WCW, including Hulk Hogan. Checkered flag. I enjoy it. It's good entertainment, BP.
Kyle Petty completes his qualifying run, and he did not pick up that much, just 0.07 of a second. 48.659 average speed, 184.961, still in 25th spot.
So he is on the bubble as we come back. There's Randy LaJoie, the series champion, getting set for his qualifying run at Daytona. Chris Diamond has just completed his qualification run and did not get into the top 25.
Yeah, fastest lap was 183.531. That's 35th. Here's the rundown, how the cars have qualified so far. We see Joe Nemechek on the pole so far. The Bell South Mobility Chevrolet 188.644. That is the time to beat. And we look down and we see Greg Sachs in 15th spot. Here is 16 through 30. Shane Hall leads that group. And 25th is the cutoff. Right now we see that the 99 car, Glenn Allen, is on the bubble. Kyle Petty is on the bubble in the 49 car. And Jimmy Foster is 30th. There has been one other car to qualify, and that was Chris Diamond in 31st. And there's Randy three other cars. How about the Dale Shaw and Dennis Setzer automobiles? 33 cars have taken time so far, and there's the defending 1996 Winston NASCAR Busch Grand National champion, Randy LaJoie.
He's back in the Fina Chevrolet, and his first lap was 12th quick, 186.959, 48.139. En route to his championship last year, Randy had 5 victories, 11 top 5s, 10, make that 20 out of 26 top 10 finishes. A good year for the champ, Randy LaJoie. Let's see what he gets on his second lap. Kyle Petty has been bumped out of the top 25. Second lap for Randy LaJoie is 8th quick.
47.898 average speed, 187.899. 8th spot. And now on the bubble is Glenn Allen.
Bill Weber standing by with Kyle Petty. No, I'm sorry, Michael Waltrip.
Hey, he's a good friend of Kyle Petty's. Exactly right. Hey, you bettered your prediction, and you are currently 10th. Nicely done.
Well, we're pretty pleased with that. Ronnie Silver's done me a super job whole trip down here, and you know, sponsors Band-Aid this year for the first time, and Mike and I love that stuff. I mean, I've been just totally relaxed and comfortable the whole time we've been here, and haven't had to walk around with my hands in my pocket.
I'm really happy for you. Tell me about your lap.
The wind was howling, but we think we pulled a low enough gear to get through it, and that's the best lap we've run since we've been here. We're all very pleased with that effort. At the risk of sounding like my brother, which I don't want to do, I think that is the fastest Ford that's run so far.
Okay, and your prediction, was that a conservative prediction? Because you did improve on that.
It was. I felt like we'd run an 01, but, you know, I said 09 because I was being conservative. You're right. I knew exactly that.
Thanks for stopping by.
Okay, thanks for having me. Hi, Daddy. Love you, bud.
Yeah, we want to wish our best to Leroy, Michael, and Daryl's daddy, who's been under the weather a little bit, but that old Tiger will fight back, we know.
Oh, he will. There's Jim Bound, the 51 car that I think Jerry Punch talked to just a moment ago. And by the way, Mikey, you're wrong. Dale Jarrett right now is the quickest car in a Ford. He's 5th spot at 47.856.
Jim Bound did not make the top 25 on his first lap. 27th quickest, 48.730, 184.691 for the Portland, Oregon driver. He is now in the top 25. Second lap, 20th fast at 48.437, 185.808. And that puts on the bubble Kenny Irwin from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, Jim Bound yesterday was one of the fastest cars in winter testing. That was the fastest car here with Ron Fellows driving the car. So when they put the tape on the grill, it somehow didn't like it.
Well, here comes the Winston Cup champion to get himself into the Busch Grand National field. This is Terry Labonte.
Bayer Chevrolet. This is Labonte's own car. He and his dad. His dad is the crew chief on this automobile.
There you see his statistics from last season. He
won 3 times. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
And 13 races, 13th in the points.
18 races he started.
16 top 10s, did I see?
Yep. 11 top 5s. He has won in series competition 10 times. How do you do on lap 1?
Ooh. He will not be very happy with that. Currently 34th at 183.031 miles per hour.
Oh, geez, we've been talking to Greens all afternoon, and Jerry's found another one.
We got Jeff Green here. We've talked about every Green in the family, except a few more probably coming down to race in the future. Jeff, what are your thoughts? I know you and I were just talking a moment ago. The wind has got to be a booger now coming off turn 2. It's right on your nose.
Yeah, it is, but everybody's got the same conditions, you know, so we'll just have to see what our Chevrolet will do. I think we got a pretty good shot at getting in around the top 5. They really didn't run as fast as I thought like Nemechek would, but we run that fast this morning, so hopefully if we can back that up, we have a shot at him.
Got a prediction for us what you can run?
Well, you know, the wind, I don't really know how much that's hurting you, but I run a 75 this morning. Real, you know, there wasn't nobody in front of me, so I was by myself, so if I can do that again, that'll put us right there with him.
All right, good luck to you. That's Jeff Green, who drove last year for Teresa Earnhardt, and this year driving for Gary Bechtel. Let's go to Bill Weber.
With Randy LaJoie, the defending series champ, currently 8th. How was your lap?
Fastest lap I've had down here testing. Last 2 days of practice. You know, I guess this Base Motorsports crew tuned her up for me.
What'd you do?
I'm not sure, but I knew I had to run a little faster. Otherwise, my 5-year-old son's going to really beat my butt because my 2-year-old son did that last night. I'm not sure what they did. All I did was hold it down and turn left.
And they said racing is dangerous, but obviously playing with a 2-year-old, not good for your health.
My 2-year-old anyways.
Learned well from you, no doubt.
Well, yeah, apples don't fall far from the tree.
Randy LaJoie. Elliott Sadler comes onto the racetrack. Oh, look what he just did.
I tell you what, this currently on, look at this, 189. Folks, Wait, 189.897 miles per hour.
Almost 190.
Wow.
How about that?
Man, oh man, Elliott Sadler is flying in this Diamond Ridge Chevrolet. Look at that. Nope, nothing on the quarter panel.
Nothing at all. It's a generic white car that comes down to take the checkered flag. 189.897 on lap number 1. Boy, he has just turned it on for this run, and his brother is already qualified in 12th position, and he did break 190.
Folks, check this out. Check this out. Look at all the water
coming out of both the back and front.
Check this out. 47.242 average speed, 190.508 miles per hour, 0.2 of a second, almost 0.2 faster than the NASCAR Winston Cup Series.
How about that? Elliott Sadler has won the pole at the moment, although we've got a lot more qualifiers for Saturday's Busch Grand National race at Daytona. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway. I'm Bob Jenkins, along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Dr. Jerry Punch. This is Busch pole qualifying for the Busch Grand National Series, and Elliott Sadler has just put himself on the pole.
And ever see Joe Bessie in the Power Team Chevrolet? You can see him there in 5th spot. He just turned that lap at 188.111. And there is the top 15. Todd Bodine is now 15th, 16 through 30. And we see that the 25th spot, Lyndon Amick is now on the bubble. Kevin LePage has been bumped. Kenny Irwin's been bumped. And now there's about 5 or 6 other cars that have qualified. We'll give you those. Come on, Mike.
Okay, the machine ain't working. It'll give it to us in just a minute. We'll get back there. Now, we got Stevie Reeves out there.
Looks like Stevie Reeves, the Big A Auto Parts Ford.
Well, he just made the top 25 barely. 185.437 of 48.534 second lap. Here's another one of those open wheel guys from the great state of Indiana.
First lap.
Yeah.
He's got another shot at it. He can pick it up just a little bit.
The fastest qualifier of Speed Weeks to date, considering all divisions, is with Bill Weber.
And that would be Elliott Sadler. Were both eyes open?
Barely breathing right now. That was tough. Very smooth lap. Just tried to be smooth and just try to hold the wheel as straight as I can. And I just got to thank Gary Beck on Diamond Ridge, B&R Motors, Chevrolet Monte Carlo. You know, we're down here unsponsored. I mean, no sponsors willing to give us a chance, I don't think, until now. I think we showed these guys that we're for real. Diamond Ridge Motorsports is for real. And I think you're going to see Jeff Green go up there in a minute. He's going to do about the same thing I did.
Did you know before you went out you were going to be that quick?
I didn't think we'll run quite that quick, but I knew we were going to have a shot at the pole or the top 5. We run good all day in practice, all day yesterday, and it's the same exact car and the same motor they won both Speedway races with last year. And they've been teaching me a lot this winter. We did 3 days of testing at Talladega, and it pays off so far. We still got a lot of good cars left, but right now it feels good.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Stevie Reeves on the track, and Jerry's with Steve Park.
Well, it says Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, but actually the driver is Steve Park, and the car owner is the big boss, Teresa Earnhardt. And Steve, getting ready to go out and qualify for the first time at Daytona. What advice did Earnhardt give you?
He just basically told me to stand on the gas and keep it down on the bottom of the racetrack. But I tell you, these guys done a great job preparing us, AC Delco Chevrolet, and we're real excited to be here at Daytona for our first time, and we're getting ready to go right here.
All right, we'll let him put the helmet on. No longer the Goodrich colors on the side of this car, number 3. It's AC Delco, Food City, and it is light blue and white. So a different color scheme and a different driver for Teresa Earnhardt in 1997.
Elton Sawyer has completed his first lap. It's 9th quick.
Yes, 187.927 miles per hour. That's bumped the 81 car, Stanton Barrett. Lyndon Amick has been bumped, and now Ron Barfield, the 94 car, is on the bubble.
And just in case you missed it, Stevie Reeves' best lap was a 48.348, and that now is 21st fastest. He was 20th, but now he's 21st with the run by Elton Sawyer. Second lap for Elton. His third quick, 47.715, 188.620. Good for him.
So I guess that's the fastest Ford on the racetrack right now.
Bill was with the 5th fastest driver. Now he's been bumped down to 6th. It's Joe Bessie.
Hey, I tried to get you on when you were 5th fastest, but now you're 6th. But that still makes you smile, and that's not easy to do.
Yeah, we're really happy. We're a little disappointed when we saw the rundown after this morning's practice. We just knew we had a good, strong car. We just kept it legal all day and stayed realistic. I don't even know what the time was, but that was one of the hairiest runs we've had all day. I just want to say hi to everybody up at the power team. I know they're all watching, and Mom and Graham, and it's great to be back in good form here in Daytona.
47.849 is what I have for you. You said it was a little frightening at times.
Yeah, that's the fastest we've gone, and including all the testing we did down here. And the car was just a little tight. We loosened it up plenty this time, and it really paid off. But it was a handful.
Okay, coming in off the win at Atlanta. Good luck here at Daytona.
Thanks a bunch, Bill.
And now could have a new pole sitter. The 8 car out on the track. Jeff Green, his teammate said he'd be quick.
And he's 11th fastest on his first lap, 47.898, 187.899.
No, I don't think he can pick up 6 or 7 tenths, and that's what he's got to pick up.
And he's also not outrunning that U.S. Air flight that's tooling down the runway over at Daytona International Airport. I guess it's arriving, isn't it? Not leaving. It's U.S. Air flight just coming into Daytona. Okay, see what Jeff Green can do on his second lap. Last year, 1 pole position, 5 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and the checkered flag awaits.
11th spot. First Barfield's been bumped. Jim Bound is now on the bubble. What did he do? He's 4th. He is now 4th. 47.798. He only picked up a tenth of a second.
Exactly a tenth.
Yeah. 188.292 miles per hour. But it moved him up 7 positions.
That's
1/10 of a second moved him up 7 positions.
That's how close the qualifying is here this afternoon. All being led by the 29 car of Elliott Sadler, and here is the 3 car of Steve Park, who hails from Northport, New York. And I was incredibly impressed with the performance that he turned in at Watkins Glen last year. I think it's a race you did.
I did in the truck and the modified division.
Yep. He comes from the modified division and is the driver of choice for Dale and Teresa Earnhardt. Dale is with Elton Sawyer. Bill is with Eldon Sawyer, who's 3rd quick at the moment as the first lap is complete for Steve.
Thanks, Bob. Elton, your lap. Very impressive.
Well, my hat's off to Bob and Eddie and Keith Roberts. Those guys did a great job this winter. They've worked extremely hard. We wanted the pole. They worked for that, but we'll take what we got. We'll work on our race setup, and we'll be ready for Saturday.
Obviously, a lot of bad luck last season. You'd like to leave that behind you and start fresh here on Saturday.
We're not even going to talk about it. Let's talk about this year. I'm excited to be back with Bob and Brad and Barbasol. We're going to be a contender.
Good luck.
Thanks.
So Steve Park, first lap, 19th at 48.242. So Jim Bound has been bumped. Now Jason Keller, very first qualifier, is on the bubble.
Steve Park takes the checkered flag and completes his first qualification run at Daytona International Speedway.
Steve's car is sponsored by AC Delco, not the Goodrich folks this year.
Moved up to 16th quick, 48.046 and a speed of 187.320. So not a bad effort at all for Steve Park.
Yes, that should get him in today's show. 16th. Probably should get him in the show today because we've qualified.
Yeah, we're getting
42
pretty close
cars.
to the end, yeah.
He's pretty close to the end, is right. So we should be able to get him in the show. The next car out is the 00 car, Buckshot.
Well, I remember his win last year at Milwaukee. What a bizarre race that was. But when you finish first, it goes into the record book, and Buckshot Jones is a winner in the Busch Grand National Division. And Jerry has an update on a problem encountered yesterday. Jerry?
Well, Mike, yesterday the problems were a little bit scary, but it looks like you got everything fixed today. You were flying in practice.
Yeah, we're in a lot better shape today. Elliott ran a pretty good lap there. I don't know. That's going to be tough to beat right now, but we'll give it the best shot we got with Royal Oak Chevrolet.
When they clocked you a little bit ago at 2nd quickest overall, just before qualifying, was that in a draft or were you by yourself?
Yeah, that was with a little help. So, you know, if I could have run that now, I'd have been happy and felt we had a shot at the ball, but Elliott kind of pulled a good one off, and that's going to be real hard to beat.
Now that's Mike Magic Shoes McLaughlin. He leads in a little magic. He's going to get on the front row. A lot of guys out here shaking their heads after what Elliott Sadler ran. Some folks thought they had a shot at the pole. Now, not many believe they've got any shot at all.
That was an outstanding performance by Elliott Sadler. 48.030. 187.383, the first lap for Buckshot Jones, 15th fastest. It bumped Jason Keller and put the 37 car of Mark Green on the bubble. Second lap is quicker.
Buckshot Jones moves into the 4th spot at 188.537. Seconds was 47.736. 188.537. Buckshot in the 4th spot. On the racetrack right now is David Hutto.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more Busch Grand National qualifying from Daytona Beach, Florida. It's ESPN2 Speed World coverage from Daytona Beach, Florida, and Daytona International Speedway. We've taken you through the IMSA 24 hours. Now we've got the stock car portion, and it's Busch Grand National qualifying today. It's all being brought to you by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction, which is open every day during Speed Weeks. Beautiful place. Great stuff to see in there. There's a 24 car of David Hutto. He's qualified 23rd fastest at 48.299, 186.339. We run down the qualifiers to this point.
There we see the pole sitter, and look what a gap he has on second place, 190.508, second 188.644. Going down the line, you see Michael Waltrip in 15th spot. Here's 16 through 30. Hermes Sadler leads that group. 25th now. Mark Green is on the bubble, or he has been bumped, I believe, and Stevie Reeves is on the bubble now in 24th. And there we see Stanton Barrett. There's several other cars. Does the button work this time? Let's see. No.
On the track is the 77 car of Jeff McClure. This is the Lear Corporation Ford.
First lap was
a little disappointing. Huh?
A little disappointing. 49.040, 183.524. Here comes McClure down to complete his qualifying run. First lap was just 42nd fastest. So
now the Lear Corporation is not the people that make the jets. It's they make interior seats, race seats, among other things.
For automobiles, yes.
All right, let's go down to the pit area, or the line, qualifying line, whatever.
Go to somebody down there.
You done, Bob?
Okay, go.
Okay. Jeff Green, 5th right now. Not a bad lap.
No, it wasn't. You know, it's about where we've been running since we've been here. Man, Elliott, he is awesome. I tell you, I don't know where he brought. They just went for it, you know, and we had to be a little conservative because we didn't have any points, and we wanted to be in the top 10, and I think we're well into that, hopefully, and I think we got an awesome car for Saturday. Can't wait to get there.
What was your reaction when you heard what your teammate ran?
Couldn't wait to get in my car to go try it. That's for sure. Yeah, you know, he's got the same equipment I do. You know, the wind is something else. Maybe the wind died down, but he just had an excellent lap. You can't take anything away from that. I'm proud of him. Hopefully we can maybe switch rows come Saturday.
All right, go find out.
Thank you.
Jeff Fuller is on the racetrack, and we have 6 cars to qualify after Jeff gets finished.
McClure was 41st. I guess you saw the graphic. 183.550. Still, Stevie Reeves is still on the bubble. Time to beat 48.348. And there goes Jeff Fuller.
Remember that win at Bristol last year, huh?
I sure do.
Last year, in addition to the win, he had 1 pole position and 4 top 10 finishes. Competed in 24 Busch Grand National events. He's 30th quick. Hasn't gotten into the top 25, at least on lap number 1. 48.518, 185.498 for the Sunoco Chevy.
He's got to pick it up about a quarter of a second to about 2/10 to get in the top 25.
Won the Rookie of the Year honors in 1995 at the ripe old age of 38. Here's the checkered flag, and Fuller has completed his run.
There we see Jeff Fuller. He picks it up a little bit.
Yeah.
48.296. 48.296. 186.351. And that will bump Stevie Reeves and put Shane Hall on the bubble.
Yet to go is Phil Parsons, Jerry.
Well, 1 of 5 cars left to qualify. And, Philip, can you beat a 47.24?
Boy, I doubt if that's an awfully quick lap. I really don't have much idea what we're going to run. We never got a clean lap in practice. We had some pretty good test times at Daytona here earlier and then also at Talladega, so we'll try to get this Channel Out Chevy as far up in the field as we can. We want to give a good ride to Willard, Bowl Fresh, and Honeywell, our new associate sponsors on board, so we want to give them a good ride, so we'll have to wait and see.
A lot of teams still surprised at what they can run. They really haven't blocked off for a qualifying effort because of limited practice until right now. That's why we're seeing some surprising times and speeds. Now, Steve Parker, I believe, is standing by with Bill Weber.
He certainly is, Doc. And Steve, obviously, relief is the first reaction. 3 months and you finally got to run your qualifying laps.
Yeah, we did, and the AC Delco Chevrolet ran great. We just had Burger King come on board. They brought us lunch this afternoon. Maybe it brought us a little bit of luck, but we're real pleased. The fastest we went was about 11 in practice, and these guys tuned on it and got us to turn a pretty good lap in qualifying, so we're pretty happy.
And you were battling to correct that problem with the car bottoming out that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday we were putting a show on for the fans. We had a lot of sparks shooting out of the bottom of the race car, but it's a fine line in between being too low and hitting the racetrack and being too high and not going fast enough. So we're real pleased with our qualifying run.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Jeff Burton, 21st fastest, 48.208, 186.691. He has bumped Shane Hall, and on the bubble goes David Hutto. Second lap complete for Jeff Burton. He's finished, and the second lap was better.
48.074. Average speed, 187.211 miles per hour. That's a Jack Roush car, sponsored by Track Gear, and currently in, as you see, 21st spot.
So we are winding down the last few qualifiers on pole day for the Busch Grand National Series here at Daytona. And the checkered flag falls for Tim Fedewa, who is the teammate to Randy LaJoy. His first lap moved him to 20th quick at 187.029. Second lap even better. He's 14th fastest with a 47.919, 187.817.
Once again, we'll take a look at the rundown. Elliott Sadler on the pole, still the time to beat, 190.508. On down the line, Tim Bender, good run in 11th spot. Mike Wallace in 14th spot in the 7 car. There's, and now we see Tim Fedewa's moved into 14th. It just changed. Now we'll go back to 16 through 30. And you'll see that Jeff Burton is in 19th. I said he was in 21st. I was mistaken. He was 18th. Now he's in 19th. And Doug Reed, good run for him. And 25th is now Jeff Fuller. David Hutto has been bumped. And then we see Jason Keller back in 30th spot. And there Mike McLaughlin goes by and takes the white flag. And there's 31 through 35. Jim Bound is in 31st. On down the line, Kyle Petty in 38th. Johnny Chapman. And the 8th there is Jamie Obie. And Jeff McClure and Chris Steinman.
Mike McLaughlin's first lap was second quick. Look out here. We may have a new pole sitter. 47.521 on lap 1. 189.390. He needs a 47.242, 241 actually, to beat Elliott Sadler. Is he going to do it here on lap number 2? Mike McLaughlin could be the new pole sitter.
Elliott Sadler was just a little bit quicker than Mike on his first lap, but Mike, all he's got to do is pick it up 0.3 of a second. 0.3 is all Mike needs to sit on the pole for Saturday's Gargoyles 300.
He didn't make it.
Second, 47.377. Average speed, 189.966 miles per hour. Good run for McLaughlin. That will bump Jeff Fuller. And now the 45 car, Greg Sachs, is on the bubble.
Bill is with Buckshot Jones, who turned in a great run, 5th fastest.
And you are 5th fastest, and I know you're pleased with that.
Yeah, we're really pleased with that. We thought we'd be maybe 10th, but we'll take 5th.
So why are you 5th instead of 10th?
We run a little faster than what we thought we would. We knew the car was going to be pretty good, but everyone started picking up time. I guess the track got a little bit better, but, the Pontiac run really good for us.
Excited about Saturday?
Yes, sir. Ready to go.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Bill Parsons is on the racetrack. What did he run in practice this morning? Was he okay?
He didn't. They don't have him on the list this morning. Yesterday he ran about 48.12. his first practice out there, which would be about 22nd or something. First lap.
You're pretty doggone good. 23rd quick right now. 48.169, a lap at 186.842.
Sponsored by the Chevrolet, sponsored by Channel Lock. Now, Greg Sachs has been bumped, and Jeff Purvis. Didn't you say he sat on the pole here last year?
Yep.
He's on the bubble to be bumped this time.
So Phil Parsons on his final lap got the car right on the bottom of the racetrack.
If he'd pick it up about 2/10 of a second and move into the 47s, he'd get into about 14th or 15th spot.
Phil finished 9th in the point standings last year after 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s. His run is over, and we've got only a couple of more remaining here in Busch Grand National practice, but qualifying for the Goodies Dash cars is coming up here on ESPN2. 20th fastest for Phil Parsons, 48.051, a 187.301.
Just picked up 1/10 of a second.
All right, and on the bubble, as you indicated, which is Jeff Purvis, and the man that's going to try to knock him off, and in fact try to knock off Elliott Sadler for the pole, is Mr. Mark Martin.
Boy, this car is so good in the NASCAR Busch Series. But he does, the knock on this car is it does not qualify well. Normally, this morning he was 15th fastest in practice.
Had a couple of poles last year in the car, though. One was at Darlington last August, and the day before the Southern 500. Well, here are the statistics. There's the best, and there is the bubble, and we'll see where Mark Martin falls between them if he does. Mark participated in 14 series events last year. First lap is not very good.
A 48.374, just 32nd. As I said, at Daytona, Talladega, the car just does not qualify. It will race like a champion.
But we have seen him come from the back of the field many, many times. Car drafts.
Yes, he's always a story. If he qualifies back about 35th or something, you got to go to him and go say, folks, this is a car that's going to be in front before the day is over. And you're always right, because it is.
He won twice at Rockingham last year, at Darlington, Bristol, and twice at Charlotte. What, did he get high coming off the corner?
It looked like he had his hands full as he came off that corner to me. But if he picks up about 3/10, he would get himself in the top 25 and not have to worry about qualifying tomorrow. And that's basically all he's hoping for. 24th.
Yeah.
48.175, average speed, 186.819 miles per hour. He's in. Jeff Purvis has been bumped, and Mike Dillon is on the bubble.
In the practice session, he also had his hands full this morning. You think it was there coming off the corner for that qualifying lap. Look at this.
Well, the problem is they've got these cars so soft in the rear that this is coming off turn 4, and that's where he seemed to have his problems both times there. Well, almost in the fence, and that was this morning. They've got these cars so soft in the rear that they really are a handful for the drivers to run.
Bill is with Mike McLaughlin.
Come on, 189.9. Didn't you have a 190 in you, man?
That's all I had. That's it. That's all these Magic Shoes had.
Yeah, you're not disappointed, though, are you?
No, we're not. It's the fastest lap we run all day. These guys did a great job preparing the Royal Oak Chevrolet. It's the fastest we've run since we've tested. We've been down here, so you can't ask for anything more than that.
Okay, now the fun part starts, right?
That's right. Take that complete setup out and put it on the shelf, and now we get to go to work on a race setup, which is what it's all about. I mean, it's nice to qualify up front, especially be on the pole. Ellie did a good job so far, but now it's time to go to work and get down to business.
Do you help with that, or you just stand by and watch?
I'm involved with what goes on, but I save all the work for...
Driver doesn't touch the car.
Well, that doesn't hold true in all cases.
Good luck, Mike. Thanks for stopping.
Thank you very much.
So Jimmy Spencer bumps the Mike Dillon out of the field, but he right now is on the bubble. He will qualify 25th, but he can have the chance to pick it up and put Mark Martin on the 25th spot. Let's see, did he pick it up enough to... Where was he going to end up?
Yep, he's up to 15th.
Wow.
And that does put Mark 25th, but qualifying is over. That's it.
Right, 47.918 for Jimmy Spencer, and the Zippo Chevrolet average speed 187.821, 15th, and congratulations to Elliott Sadler over 190 miles per hour qualifying for the Gargoyles 300 NASCAR Busch race on Saturday afternoon here at the Big D. And that young man has got to be delighted.
I would think so. He was just outstanding today in winning the pole position for the biggest race of the year for these guys in this series. We're going to get a break in here and come back and wrap up the Busch series, because before too much longer, the 4-cylinder compacts of the Goodies Dash series will be coming out for qualifying. Right now, the racetrack is silent here at Daytona because the Busch Grand National cars have completed their first round of qualifying, with Elliott Sadler grabbing the pole. Bill Weber has an interview for us.
With Mark Martin, 25th, you're locked in. I know you'd like a little bit more than that.
No, man, I'm not greedy. That's what we wanted. We wanted to make 25th, or, you know, so that we could start working on race setup tomorrow instead of struggling around trying to get a good enough time to make this race. We've missed it before, and we're in, and we're happy.
We were rolling this morning, some exciting moments for you out on the track this morning, and then your qualifying laps as well.
I don't know how these guys get these cars to go so fast. You know, I obviously have the golden touch. Anything I touch with a plate on it goes slow as it can be. So, you know, we do okay in a race, do that windsurfing deal. You know, it seems to work out. The almighty equalizer, you know, is that draft.
We'll be watching you come through the field both days this weekend. Good luck, Mark.
Thank you.
Mark Martin qualifies 25th for Saturday's race. Let's take a look at how that all shook out here today.
Look at Elliott Sadler, 190.508 miles per hour. Mike McLaughlin, Joe Nemechek, Sawyer, and Buckshot Jones in the 5th spot. And Jeff Green, the teammate to Elliott Sadler. Tracy Leslie, Holmes, Bessie, Trickle is the top 10. Jarrett, Bender, Tim Bender, Dale Fishline, Randy LaJoy, Jimmy Spitzer, 15th.
Last qualifier jumped into the 15th qualifying spot. Here's 16 through 20, led by Tim Fedewa, then Mike Wallace, Michael Waltrip, Hermie Sadler, Steve Park, Phil Parsons, Jeff Burton, and on down the line.
The last spot to qualify today, Mark Martin. These fellows all got to either stand on this time or come back tomorrow and try to run faster. 38 cars is all they're going to qualify. Lyndon Amick would be the 38th car if they took qualifying today.
And there are all 52 qualifiers that you saw live here on ESPN2. The Goodies Dash Series cars are coming up next to take their qualifying runs. Stay with us.
Later on RPM tonight, the King, Richard Petty, and his knight, Bobby Hamilton, join us live in the studio to talk about the upcoming season and the new look here at Daytona. Plus, a couple of drivers who changed rides this year also make a live appearance, as Kenny Schrader and Ricky Craven stop by. Tonight, 7 Eastern, RPM tonight, only on ESPN2.
There's the rundown of the special guest tonight with John Kernan at 7 o'clock RPM tonight, and also expect a visit from the doctor, Jerry Punch, on RPM tonight. We're getting things set up for the qualifying round of the Goodies Dash Series cars. That will be next when we come back to Daytona.
For home, health, and family, Forest Heights has it all.
Hi, I'm Larry Marlin at First RX Pharmacy. For your home health care needs, we invite you to come see us. We have a pharmacy and we fill prescriptions for you, but we also do other things. If you look for home health care appliances, we have walkers and wheelchairs, hard to find items like Sinopills or OxyFresh toothpaste. And we also have the grill at Forest Heights with homemade desserts and great food.
Stop by First RX Pharmacy beside Garner's Home Store and Me Too Limited in Forest Heights Shopping Center.
Gary Shandling meets with HBO to discuss this season's promotional campaign.
Let's just think about some things. Super Larry.
Larry Animal Trainer.
Larry's Chinese Laundry.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
How about this? The Larry Poncho.
That sickens me.
What time is it, folks? It's time to watch the Larry Sanders Show.
You're right. The way to do it is take the body out and the head's going to fall. You got to whip. You got to dig.
So
Sunday Night Boxing on ESPN2.